What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993. Happy Friday to you all. This is episode number 230 of WWE Turn Alert. As we talk about two turns. Well, this is the first one. The second one has to do with post his match. But this first one's going to be kind of like a big one. I have a lot I got to say about this one. So, Mustafa Ali. I guess he's back to being called Mustafa, because as a heel, he was Mustafa, which I thought was unique with having him being a heel, Mustafa Ali. But it sounds like, since he's a babyface again, they're going to call him Mustafa again. Of course, Miz jagged around and said Mufasa. But, so yeah, Mustafa Ali returned to Raw this past Monday as a babyface during the Miz TV segment with Miz and Austin Theory. Yes, don't call him Austin Theory. Theory sounds dumb. I'm sorry, Theory sounds dumb. There's another name change we're going to get into in the next Turn Alert that I think it's whatever. That one though is just dumb. But anyways, so Mustafa Ali turned after being gone for quite a while. I think the last time we saw him was when he was feuding with Mansoor on SmackDown for Crown Jewel last fall. Which, of course, Mansoor is basically the hype man for the Saudi Arabia shows. And then when those shows are not going on, he's nowhere to be found. But Mustafa Ali went on a long hiatus. And during that time, if y'all remember, he requested his release from WWE. And he made it public. He was posting on Instagram and Twitter that he wanted out. WWE, though, did not grant it for him. And I think he's stuck for another, 2 years, I think it is. On his contract, I think. Another 2 years in the company. At some point, they'll probably release him through the budget cuts. They did it today with NXT, which we'll talk about that in a separate video. May not get that one today, though. But yeah, he was voicing his opinion about how frustrated, he was and such like that, and he wanted out. But of course, they didn't grant him. So I guess he must have realized after a while, hey, I'm stuck here. It is what it is. Just do out my contract. So he brought him back as a babyface. Why? I don't know. I mean, he was on an episode of Raw Talk afterwards, so I didn't get to hear what he had to say there. So maybe I should if we're doing this Turn Alert. But really, no rhyme or reason why he just randomly shows up on Raw as a babyface again. Here's what I'm going to say about this. First off, if you're going to have him be a babyface again, give him back his old theme song. I don't see any point of still having his heel theme. It's cool. I like this heel theme. Give him his old theme song back. He's going to be a babyface. He kind of made the motion. They had the light graphic again. Like he had when he was a babyface. Bring back the babyface music. Secondly, obviously he's probably only a babyface because he spoke out against WWE. He had barely a reaction when he came out on Raw, unfortunately, because the crowd was dead. Because we all know that they're not going to do anything with him. But if he's going to be he's basically a babyface because the crowd got behind him for speaking out and saying he wanted to leave the company. So, here's the problem. If there's really no story to him being a babyface, then why would he be a babyface? You see, of course, he comes back and the Miz, jags him, says stuff like, you still work here? Austin Theory said, aren't you the one who took his ball and went home? Of course, I think Ali said something at the end of all biceps, no balls, or something like that. The Theory denied his request for a shot at the U.S. title. But think about this. Why did Mustafa? I'm sorry, I used to call him Mustafa again. I was trying to use to call him Mustafa before. Now I gotta call him Mustafa again. Why did Mustafa Ali turn heel in the first place? He formed Retribution. He was the secret leader that was revealed later on down the line of Retribution. That horrible stable that was causing a ruckus on WWE for them not treating them well and whatnot. Even though they signed them the contracts, which was dumb. Mustafa Ali, obviously turned heel because he felt underappreciated, so he wanted to obviously wreck the company that has underappreciated him. And that storyline works if they didn't make the stable look like crap. And poor Mustafa Ali, he cut some really, really great promos while he was the leader of Retribution. That's the one thing I will give Retribution, is Mustafa Ali and his excellent promos. He cut some really good promos. He tried his best. He worked his ass off to make that work. And unfortunately, he didn't. And it was not his fault. I give him all the credit for working his butt off trying to make that work. Vince, of course, just didn't allow it to happen. And then, so my thing is yes, he was gone for a while. Yes, he's basically a fan favorite again because he spoke out and wanted to leave because we all recognize his talent. But why bring him back as a babyface with no rhyme or reason when he's trying to destroy this company in the first place? Where's the story? Or, of course, the story not matter because we all know he's not going to re-sign, as far as I know, once his contract runs out in 2 years. So, he's brought back, he's just going to be on catering and as a babyface, basically, is what I can see. Yeah, he'll probably have a brief, even though it's confusing. Is he going to fight Austin Theory for the U.S. title? Or is he going to feud with a person who attacked him after his match? Which was what we talked about in the next video, because that was a heel turn there. I mean, I like Mustafa Ali. I love Mustafa Ali. I remember back whenever the Cruiserweight division was hot, in like 2018, when Triple H took over. Cedric was the Cruiserweight champion. You got Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy tearing it up. Tony Nese was a solid addition as well. Drew Gulak was like one of the best submission specialists and still could be on the planet if they would book him in better ways other than being an interviewer who gets his ass kicked by Charlotte Flair every week, which is so freaking dumb. I remember I was watching one of Just Alex's videos back when he was the Lex Man. And I agree with this. I could see it. He basically called Mustafa Ali the Shawn Michaels of the Cruiserweight division. And he easily could. I also think back to when Ali was in an interview with Chris Jericho on Talk Is Jericho. He mentioned one thing that Vince McMahon said stood out to him about him. It's that he was very good at giving empathy. And I could agree. You know, he took some of the craziest bumps, but still got up and fought. He felt like a guy you had to beat the absolute piss out of the beat in the Cruiserweight division. And it's true. And then you brought him over to SmackDown. Remember when they wanted to make him the world champion in 2019? Because they wanted an Arabian to be champion going to Saudi Arabia. That's why Mustafa Ali got that big push he got. And that if that injury didn't happen to him, he probably would have still gotten like that push Kofi Kingston got. And oh dear, I still get mad about this. WrestleMania 37. You know what we should have had? We should have still had, whether it was for the U.S. title or not, because I thought that when he faced Riddle for the U.S. title at Fastlane last year, I thought, have him win the U.S. title here, they faced him for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. They didn't do it, of course. They could have done it one-on-one, but nope, didn't even give him a match. We should have had Mustafa Ali versus Kofi Kingston. Oh dear God, that would have been an amazing match. Instead, they didn't do it for no freaking reason whatsoever. So, like I said, it doesn't make sense to bring Ali back as a babyface. Yes, again, the fans respect him behind him because he spoke up and wanted out of the company. They didn't let him out. But he's basically back as a babyface just because. There's no story. I don't think there's going to even be a story. He'll probably do this brief program with Austin Theory. Vince will get tired of him, and then he'll go back to catering for the rest of his time until he leaves. I wish it was the case, because again, Mustafa Ali is freaking awesome, but that's just how it's going to be. So guys, that's my thoughts on Mustafa Ali returning to Raw this past week as a babyface. I don't think it makes sense for him to come back as a babyface. Again, why would he turn face and, not be mad at the company that booked him like crap, which that's why he turned heel to begin with. That's why he was the hacker also on SmackDown, which was revealed later on. But what are your thoughts on Mustafa Ali? Please leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. Next time around, we'll do Turn Alert. We're going to be talking about the man who attacked him after his match against The Miz this past week. and talk about him as he turned heel. But we'll talk about that. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy93. And as always, guys, please stay tuned for more WWE Turn Alert.